Good morning, Bimblers. And you join me at the top of Peck's Hill in a place called Cronton, 61 metres up. We've been here before, Bimblers, in Moraine Hill, Bimble. And this is sort of a follow-on from that, I guess. At least in part. We're going to head off into Widnes today. Because I don't know whether you know it, but on Thursday the 10th of April, at Widnes Cricket Club, we're doing Bimblism live. Still a few tickets left. So let's stop messing about and let's indeed bimble. And so at the bottom of Peck's Hill, you'll find the ancient village of Cronton. And we're stood in the Holy Family Church, a Catholic one. It was opened on the 15th of August 1910, and it was all paid for by the Stapleton Bretherton family of Rain Hill. Bretherton, as in Bartholomew Bretherton, the fellow that paid for St Bartholomew's Church in Rain Hill. We spoke about that in Moraine Hill, Bimble. Bartholomew Bretherton was rather a wealthy chap, making his money from a coaching company and from his quarry. And the Holy Family Church is made from sandstone from that quarry. It's cheaper if you buy it from yourself. The man who designed this church was called Alfred Gilbertson, and we visited another one of his churches, St Agnes Church in Eccleston in Chorley. Do you know that this stunning church isn't listed? But the ancient village of Cronton boasts two curiously listed features. That would be a medieval cross base at the junction of Hall Lane and Smithy Lane, and also the Old Town Stocks, which are curiously listed because they've got 5 holes in them. Very handy if you catch 2 criminals, one with 2 legs and the other with 3. Let's bimble.
Clouds kept the light from those eyes. Still, love grown consumed, and you know I'll never let it go. You'll find in time I'll never let it go. You'll find it's right. I'll only ever know how to speak my mind. I'll only ever know how to speak my mind. Mistake. To me it was a golden handshake to reapply those lazy arms in my heart. To you it was a dream it mended. To you it was a dream suspended. To relocate right from the break to
This is Victoria Park here in Widnes. It was opened in 1900 to celebrate the Diamond Jubilee of Queen Victoria. But before it was Victoria Park, it was Appleton House, the home of Henry Wade Deacon, a chemist and industrialist. Must have been quite something, because they named the high school after him round here. Henry worked with a fella called John Hutchinson, who was the fella that started up Spike Island. Everything was chemicals round here in Widnes. They even named the rugby team the Chemics. Henry Deacon filed his first patent with a fella called Edmund Leyland. That was for the manufacture of sulfuric acid. He went on to file another 29 patents, all to do with chemical manufacturing. He died of typhoid in 1876. We've been here to Victoria Park before, in my curiously listed Widnes and Runcorn Bimble. We visited the War Memorial. We got some nice shots of the fountain that was put in as a memorial to William Gladstone. But here in Victoria Park, there's an old milestone that hasn't always been here. It used to be on the A57, the Prescott to Warrington Road, and it was damaged by a bombing raid, not during the Second World War, but during the First World War. It was an L-61 Zeppelin that dropped bombs on that. You know, a blimp. On the 12th of April 1918, that Zeppelin was spotted over Moor, and it went over Runcorn, dropping bombs as it went. It dropped a bomb on that milestone. Then it was spotted over a farmer's field in Bold, where it dropped some more bombs and left a 15-foot crater. It was last spotted in Wigan, and on its way from Moor to Wigan, it killed 8 people and injured a further 12 people. Must have been quite scary. A big Zeppelin floating over here in the dead of night, dropping bombs. Anyway, Bimblers, there's another church just down there. Let's Bimble.
Dreams suspended to relocate right from the break to the start. Over time, clouds kept the light from those eyes. Still, love grown consumed, and you know I'll never let it go. In time, I'll never let it go. You'll find it's right. I'll only ever know how to speak my mind. I'll only ever know how to speak my mind.
And so, Bimblers, we reached St Michael's Catholic Church here in Ditton in Widnes. When we first turned up, I was a bit disappointed because there was a combination lock on the church gate, so I couldn't get in. I was actually filming it over the garden wall. But as I was doing my piece to camera talking to yous lot, a lovely woman turned up in a car and said, "Would you like to film inside the church? We're going to have a wedding here this afternoon. If you're quick, you can get some pictures inside." Which isn't a common occurrence here on Bimblism. I think this is only the second church we've ever been inside. The other one was the Anglican Cathedral in Liverpool. That lovely woman informed me that this church went back a lot further than I thought it did. It was founded in the 17th century by the Jesuits. For you don't know what a Jesuit is, they're a member of the Society of Jesus. That society was formed in 1534, and they were a bunch of Roman Catholic priests that resisted the Reformation and did missionary work, sort of like a higher order of priest. According to that nice lady, there are some vaults and cellars underneath the church, and there are a lot of priest holes, which is where the priests would have hid in case the authorities caught them, because it was illegal to be a Catholic priest back then. In the 1870s, a lot of German Jesuits came here to Ditton to come to this church. That was because of something called Bismarck Culture Camp, or Otto von Bismarck's culture struggle. Otto von Bismarck was the Chancellor of Germany, and he thought that the Roman Catholic Church had too much influence over Germany. Lest we forget that Germany used to be called the Holy Roman Empire. So he chucked out all of the Jesuits, and they ended up coming here to Widnes, and they built him a lovely church. That was between 1876 and 1879. It was designed by a fella called Henry Clutton, who was a student of Edward Blow. Edward Blow put the windows in Buckingham Palace, and it was a dear do, this church. It cost £16,000. That was back in 1876. In today's money, that would be £1.5 million. So who paid for that? That would be Lady Mary Stapleton Bretherton, as in the Stapleton Brethertons that built the Catholic Church in Crompton. She was the only daughter of Bartholomew Bretherton, the fellow who paid for St Bartholomew's Church in Rainhill. When he died, she inherited all of his businesses, all of his money, and all of his land. She married twice and was widowed twice, and she inherited all their businesses, all their money, and all their land. She owned coal mines and quarries, wood piles, lots of land, and had lots of money. And what did she spend that money on? Lovely Catholic churches like this one. Let's Bimble.
Easiest to make. Aim for the stars, it's yours, just wait. You do your best along the way. But it's those arms that told me I don't care if it's yours or mine. Without you, it's just a waste of time. You showed me from the start, such inspirations need a heart to bring you round. Big aspirations need a heart to hold you down.
Well, Bimblers, we reach journey's end. Not quite as grand as St Michael's Catholic Church. We've come to the end of Ditton Road, where it becomes Hale Road. And as the road goes over the railway bridge, there would have been the entrance to an old railway station, Ditton Junction Railway Station. That was opened in 1871 for the London to Liverpool line. It was closed in 1994, but it was modernised in 1961, around about the time that a rather famous chap called Paul Simon, of Simon and Garfunkel fame, would have been touring the folk clubs of the UK, long before he was internationally famous and recognised as a songwriter. He was just playing at little folk clubs, trying to earn a crust of bread. A little bit like me, playing at Widnes Cricket Club on Thursday the 10th of April. Doors open at 8 o'clock, the show starts at 8:30. Tickets are £10 plus a small booking fee. And there's links to buy them in the description or from the QR codes at the end. You can only buy them from me. Don't go phoning Widnes Cricket Club. And we're very close to selling out. It's the largest venue we've ever done Bimblism live at. And we've sold more tickets than ever. But we've not quite sold out. But I'm sure that Paul Simon sold out that folk club here in Widnes. And the next day, the fellow that organised the folk club took him to the train station as Paul Simon was playing at Hull the next day. Paul Simon said it was that day that he wrote the song Homeward Bound, as in the Simon and Garfunkel song Homeward Bound. Very famous song. And many people say that he was dropped off at Widnes railway station because he was playing at Widnes Folk Club. But that would have been known as Farnworth Station at the time. They actually used to have a little plaque up saying that he wrote Homeward Bound there. But a lot of other people believe that he wrote it here at Ditton Junction railway station, because this is the railway station that would have took him to Hull. But in a recent interview on Swedish television, Paul Simon says that he wrote that song at Warrington Central railway station, not in Widnes at all. There's one thing we know for sure, and that's that Paul Simon wasn't having a very good time and he wanted to go home. A little bit like I do now, it started raining. There's another thing we know, is that I'm playing at Widnes Cricket Club on Thursday the 10th of April. Doors open at 8 o'clock, the show starts at 8:30. Tickets are £10 plus a small booking